Topic 10, Lesson 6, Dividing 4-digit by 1-digit numbers. Well, so far you've learned how to find exact quotients for whole number dividends. In this lesson, you're going to learn how to estimate and find quotients for division with 4-digit dividends and 1-digit divisors. Our standard is to find a whole number quotients and remainders with up to 4-digit dividends and 1-digit divisors, using strategies based on place value, the properties of operations, and/or the relationship between multiplication and division. And we can illustrate and explain the calculation by using equations, rectangular arrays, and/or area models. Mathematical practices, we're going to reason abstractly and quantitatively. We're going to construct viable arguments and critique the reasoning of others, and look for and express regularity in repeated reasoning. Our focus is, how can you estimate larger quotients? Let's take a look. A high school football stadium has 6 sections that each seat the same number of people. A total of 1,950 people can be seated. About how many can be seated? So again, a football stadium has 6 sections, and a total of 1,950 people can be seated in the stadium. So about how many can be seated in each section? So here's the problem. We've got 1,950 divided by 6. And we're looking for, if we go back, and it says about. I think that's the key here. That's how we know to estimate. We don't want the exact, we want to know about. So we have to ask ourselves, is this answer more than 10? Yes. Is it more than 100? Yes. Is it more than 1,000? Well, probably not, because if we said 1,000 times 6, that would get us 6,000. That's too many. But if we said 6 times 100, yep, it's more than that. That's only 600. So we know about where we need to go. Let's keep going. So we have 1,950 divided by 6, and we can use just regular basic facts to help us solve this. So for example, we know that 18 divided by 6 equals 3, and 24 divided by 6 equals 4. Now that helps us to do our estimating, because we know if we said, alright, if we follow this similar fact family, we would have 6 times 300, that equals 1,800 or 1,800, which is less than that number. And if we were to go ahead and do 6 times 400, we're going to get 2,400, which is more than that number. So here we're just trying to kind of play with the numbers here and see where does that fall. So that helps us kind of give us a better clue that the answer is somewhere between 300 and 400. How do we know? Again, 1,800 is less than 1,900 or 1,950, and we also know that the 400 estimate, or 2,400, is more than 1,950. So our estimate for this equation is somewhere between 300 and 400, about. And if we look at it really closely here, we can actually see that this number, 1,800, is actually closer to 1,950 than this number is. So in reality, if we were going to estimate, if we're going to pick a side, we're actually pretty close to 300, and it's probably somewhere just less than 350. So about. Alright, now try some on your own. Good luck.